The conference room smells like Olivia's number 5 and Ryan's cheap hair gel. I stand at the glass wall, looking out at the Palo Alto skyline. But I'm not seeing the view. I'm seeing the reflection of the 10 people seated behind me. The board, the VCs, the vultures. Ryan Cole clears his throat. It's that smug, wet sound he makes right before he says something he thinks is clever. I don't turn around. Ethan, he says, dragging out the syllables. We need to wrap this up. People have places to be. I finally pivot on my heel. Ryan is leaning back in my chair, the one I've sat in for 7 years. He's got his feet up on the table, a move so transparently try-hard that even Mark Jensen, our lead investor from Sequoia, raises an eyebrow. Ryan's wearing a suit that probably cost $2,000, but the fit is wrong. He's all flash, no substance, just like his ideas. Olivia is at the head of the table. She's perfect, as always, not a hair out of place. Her manicure is fresh, a sharp crimson that matches the power tie of her Armani suit. She's looking at her iPad, not me. That's her tell. When Olivia can't look you in the eye, it means she's about to screw you over. Ryan's right, Olivia says, her voice crisp, devoid of any warmth. Let's not drag this into lunch. We have a Morgan Stanley roadshow at 2. I say nothing. I just look at her, at the wedding ring on her left hand, the one I bought after we closed our Series A. It's platinum. Simple. Because she said diamonds were tacky and unoriginal. Funny how she doesn't find me original anymore. Ryan slides a manila envelope across the polished mahogany. It skids to a stop inches from my gut. Here you go, buddy. Your final check. I glance down at it. The envelope is thin. Pathetically thin. Open it. Ryan urges, grinning. He's enjoying this. The whole room is quiet, waiting for me to break. To yell. To beg. It's your severance. $800. We processed it as a standard consultant termination fee. At will. You know? $800. I look at Olivia. Her jaw tightens, but she still doesn't look up. 800? I ask. My voice is steady. Calm. It's the same tone I use when debugging a critical system failure at 3 o'clock a.m. You paid Sarah Chun, the junior marketing associate, $85,000 last quarter. Plus à 22 ans signing bonus. Ryan laughs. A short, sharp bark. Yeah, well, Sarah actually brought something to the table. Ethan, she's got a Harvard MBA, and she doesn't smell like ozone and desperation. You're a ghost. A relic. We're pivoting to a new phase. And there's no room for legacy code. He stands up, smoothing his tie. He walks around the table, stopping close enough that I can see the pores in his nose. He puts a hand on my shoulder, squeezing it like we're old friends. I don't shrug him off. I just stare at his hand until he pulls it back, his smile faltering for a split second. Come on, Mun, Ryan says, shifting back into his mock sympathetic tone. Be grateful. We could have just walked you out with nothing. Olivia argued for the $800, said it was the right thing to do. That gets Olivia's attention. Her head snaps up, her eyes, a cold glacial blue, finally meet mine. There's no apology in them, just irritation. Irritation that Ryan is painting her as soft. I didn't argue. She corrects him, her tone icy. I stated it was cleaner. We don't need a messy lawsuit from a disgruntled contractor right before the IPO. Take the money. Ethan, sign the NDA. And don't make this difficult. Difficult. That's what she calls me now. Difficult. I reach down and pick up the envelope. It feels lighter than air. I tear it open with my thumb. Inside is a check printed on heavy stock. The amount line reads, $800. I hold it up to the light, looking at Ryan. Is this a joke? Ryan's smirk returns. Does it look like a joke? You've been riding Olivia's coattails for years. Bro, everyone knows she's the brains behind Orion. You're just the guy who fixed the Wi-Fi when it went down. Now, you're just gone. He turns to the room, spreading his arms. Effective immediately. I'm stepping into the role of president of strategic innovation. We're going to take Orion to the next level. Without the baggage. The board members nod. Jensen looks bored. He's already packing his Mont Blanc pen. To them, I'm not a person. I'm a line item that's been zeroed out. I look back at Olivia. She's watching me. Her expression unreadable, but her fingers are tapping a rapid staccato on the tabletop. nervous energy. Or maybe it's guilt. You're really doing this? I ask her quietly. She leans forward, steepling her fingers. The CEO mask clicks back into place. Ethan, we've had this conversation. You're brilliant with code, but you're a liability in the boardroom. You don't network. You don't schmooze. You don't understand the vision I'm selling to Wall Street. Ryan does. He compliments me. You. She pauses, searching for the word. You hinder me. There it is. The truth buried under 7 years of marriage and 70 billion lines of code. I hinder her. I fold the check in half, then in half again. The paper makes a sharp, clean crack. Fine, I say. Ryan blinks. Fine? That's it? No tantrum? No, I built this company speech? I ignore him. I pull my employee badge off my lanyard. It's got my picture on it, a tired-looking guy with circles under his eyes. Ethan Ward, Senior Technical Advisor, a title Olivia insisted on 3 years ago when she decided founder sounded too startup-y for a Fortune 500 wannabe. I place the folded check and the badge on the table. They land with a soft click. You want to talk about hindering? I say, looking directly at Olivia. Let's talk about the fact that every single product Orion has launched in the last 4 years runs on Helix Engine. 9 core patents. Every algorithm. Every security protocol. Every data compression module. My name is on those patents. Olivia. Not yours. Not Orion's. Ryan scoffs. Ancient history. Dude, we've moved past the engine. We're building something new. Something bigger. No, I say, shaking my head. You're building on top of a foundation you don't understand. You're stacking glass on sand, Ryan. And when the tide comes in, I leave the sentence unfinished. I turn to Olivia. Your father knew. He told me to keep the patents in my name. He said, don't let her forget who built the engine. I didn't listen. I thought we were partners. Olivia's face hardens. My father is dead. Ethan, don't hide behind his memory. This is business. It's always business with you. I murmur. I glance at the wedding ring again. Except it wasn't. Not for me. I start walking toward the door. Hey, Ryan shouts. Where the hell do you think you're going? We're not done. I stop at the threshold. I don't look back. If I look back now, I might actually feel something. And I can't afford that. Not yet. You're right, Ryan. I say, my voice echoing slightly in the glass room. We're not done. We haven't even started. Tomorrow morning, at 9 o'clock, you're going to find out exactly what hindering looks like. I hear a chair scrape back. Ryan's footsteps. Is that a threat? Because if it is, it's a promise. I cut him off. I finally glance over my shoulder. Olivia is staring at me, a flicker of uncertainty in her eyes. Good. Let her wonder. Let her sweat. Enjoy your $800. Ryan, it's the last money you'll ever touch that isn't tainted by my work. I step out into the hallway. The glass door swings shut behind me, muffling the sudden eruption of voices inside. I don't wait to hear the argument. I walk past the rows of desks where my team, are pretending not to stare. Their eyes follow me, wide and confused. I give them a slight nod, a silent apology. I'll take care of them later. I punch the elevator button. The doors open immediately. As they close, I catch a glimpse of Ryan bursting out of the conference room, his face purple, pointing a finger at me. The last thing I see before the metal doors slide shut is Olivia, still sitting at the head of the table, her hand covering her mouth, the red nail polished stark against her pale skin. The elevator descends. The numbers tick down. 30 floors. 20. 10. I pull out my phone. I scroll past the missed calls from Olivia. The angry text from Ryan. I find a contact I need. Victoria Kane, CEO of Novatech, our biggest rival. I hit dial. She picks up on the second ring. Ethan, this is a surprise. I heard the news. Orion's big shakeup. Victoria. I say, my voice calm. The adrenaline finally settling into a cold, clear focus. I need a meeting. Tonight. Downtown. Just you and me. Regarding? She asks, though I can hear the smile in her voice. She knows. She's known for years. Regarding Helix Engine. I say, and the 9 patents you've been trying to license for 5 years. There's a pause. Then, I'll send the car. 1 hour. Make it 45 minutes. I reply, I have some paperwork to grab first. I hang up as the elevator hits the lobby. I walk through the marble atrium, past the security desk where the guards nod at me, still seeing me as the boss, not knowing I'm already a ghost in their system. I head toward the private executive elevator that leads to the top floor offices and the secure server rooms. I don't go to my office. I go to the data center. It's cold here. The hum of the server is a constant, soothing white noise. I walk to Rack 14, Unit 3. Behind a panel is a small, fireproof safe. I punch in a combination. My birthday, Olivia's birthday, the day we founded Orion. The numbers feel heavy under my fingers. The safe clicks open. Inside, there's a single folder. Thick, heavy bond paper. On the tab, in black ink, patent assignment agreements, Helix Engine. Below that, in my father-in-law's precise script, original copies. Do not file corporate. I pull out the folder. I flip it open. Page after page of dense legalese. But I know exactly where to look. Section 4. Subsection B. Termination Clause. In the event of the involuntary termination of Ethan Ward's employment or consultancy with Orion Systems without cause, the perpetual, royalty-free license granted herein for the use of the Helix Engine patents, USPTO hashtag XXXXXXXXXXXX, shall terminate automatically within 24 hours of such termination. Upon termination, Orion Systems shall immediately cease all usage of the aforementioned intellectual property. Without cause, Ryan's little envelope just sealed their fate. I close the folder. I tuck it under my arm. I don't take anything else. No laptop. No personal photos. Nothing. I'm not stealing from them. I'm reclaiming what was never theirs. As I walk back toward the elevator, I pass a flat-screen monitor mounted on the wall. It's cycling through Orion's latest PR campaign. A slick video of Olivia giving a TED Talk. The tagline scrolls beneath her smiling face. Innovating the future, led by vision. I laugh. A short, dry sound that gets lost in the hum of the servers. Vision. Olivia has vision. All right, but I'm the one who gave her the eyes to see it. And now, I'm taking them back. The elevator doors open. I step inside. As they close, I catch my reflection in the polished steel. I look different, lighter, like a weight I've been carrying for 7 years has finally been lifted. Tomorrow at 9, the world is going to change. Ryan Cole is going to learn that you can't run a tech empire on PowerPoint presentations and an $80,000 assistant. And Olivia Ward is going to learn that the man she called a hindrance was the only thing holding her glass castle together. The elevator hits the ground floor. The doors open to the underground parking garage. Victoria's car at a sleek, black Maybach that is waiting by the private exit. The driver steps out, nods respectfully. I slide into the back seat. The leather is cool against my skin. Victoria is already there, swirling a glass of Macallan. She looks me over, taking in the folder under my arm. Rough day at the office? She asks, her lips curving into a predatory smile. Just finished one job, I say, looking out the tinted window as the garage doors roll open and the California sun hits the windshield. Starting another. The car pulls out into the traffic. I don't look back at the Orion Tower. I don't need to. I know exactly what it looks like. I build it, brick by digital brick. But it's not mine anymore. And soon, it won't be theirs either. I open the folder, running my finger over the embossed seal of the U.S. Patent Office. 9 patents. The keys to the kingdom. Drive. I tell driver. As we merge onto the 101, I pull out my phone one last time. I open a secure terminal app. I type in a single line of code. It's a timer, set for 18 hours. When it hits 0, the revocation protocol triggers. No fanfare, no warning, just a quiet, irreversible shutdown of the heart of Orion Systems. I hit enter. The timer starts counting down. 00.17.59.42. I lean back, closing my eyes. For the first time in 7 years, I feel a sense of peace. The $800 wasn't a dismissal. It was a down payment on my freedom. And come tomorrow morning, Olivia and Ryan are going to find out exactly how expensive that freedom is going to cost them. The car speeds south, toward San Jose, toward Novatech, Toward the future, I'm about to rebuild from the ashes of their arrogance. Let them have their $800. I'll take the empire. I'm not watching the clock. I'm watching the terminal. The green text on the black background is the only thing that matters now. 8:47 a.m. 12 minutes until Ryan Cole realizes he's not a tech titan, just a glorified middle manager playing dress-up in a server room he doesn't understand. My burner phone vibrates against the glass of the kitchen island. Marcus Webb, my old lead architect. I answer, keeping my voice low. Ethan, what the fuck, mun? Marcus doesn't waste time on pleasantries. I can hear the chaos of a keyboard being hammered in the background. The Jenkins pipeline just flatlined. Ryan's screaming about ghost commits and demanding we roll back to a stable build, but there's nothing to roll back to. The source authentication is failing across all nodes. I take a sip of black coffee. It's hot, bitter, perfect. Tell Ryan to check the license heartbeat. Marcus, specifically, the validation keys for the Helix core modules. Validation keys? Marcus sounds confused, then annoyed. We don't use external validation. We own the stack. Wait, I hear him shuffling papers. Then a sharp intake of breath. Holy shit, the build logs are showing a license revocation signal. It's coming from the root authority. But that's your personal signature block. Ethan, you trigger a kill switch? I reclaim my property. I say, look at Section 4B of the Master License Agreement. I sent it to your personal email last night. Silence on the line. Then, a low whistle. You're serious. You actually did it. Olivia is going to lose her mind. She's already on the phone with legal, screaming about corporate sabotage. It's not sabotage if it was never theirs to begin with. I reply, how's Ryan handling it? Marcus lets out a dry, humorless laugh. He's blaming the DevOps team. Just told HR to escort the deadwood out. He's trying to manually push a patch to the compression algorithms. Ethan, he's going to blow up the West Coast data center if he keeps clicking deploy. He doesn't know what any of these modules do. Let him. I say, stand back and watch. Marcus, don't intervene. I'll make sure your severance is covered in the Novatech transition. Novatech? Marcus's voice spikes with interest. You're jumping ship? To Victoria Kane? I'm taking the ship. Marcus, Orion is just a hollowed-out hull now. Pack your things by noon. I hang up before he can ask another question. The TV in the living room is on mute, but I see the ticker at the bottom of CNBC. Orion Systems, AUR, down 4% pre-market amidst technical glitches. 4%. Goo. By lunch. They'll be lucky if there's a market left to trade in. The burner vibrates again. Unknown number. I answer. Ethan Ward. Olivia's voice is a razor blade wrapped in silk. She's not yelling. She's doing that scary calm thing where she enunciates every syllable like she's delivering a eulogy. What did you do to my company? Our company. Olivia. And I didn't do anything. I simply stopped lending you my name and my technology. Check your inbox. I CC'd your legal team on the patent termination notice at 8 a.m. sharp. You. She stumbles over her words. A rare occurrence. This is a violation of the marital property laws. Those patents were developed during our marriage. They belong to both of us. Wrong, I say, leaning back against the counter. Your father structured the initial IP transfer in year 2, before we were married. It's all in the filings with the USPTO. You were too busy doing media tours to read the fine print. Remember? You said, legal stuff is boring. Ethan, just make sure it works. Well, it worked. Until today. I hear a crash on her end. Glass breaking. Do you have any idea what you're doing? We have a $2 billion roadshow with Morgan Stanley in 4 hours. You're destroying us. I'm correcting a misrepresentation. I correct her. You've spent 7 years telling the world you're a tech genius. Today, the world gets to see you're just a salesperson who lost her demo account. Ryan says this is fixable. She snaps, but there's a tremor in her voice. He's working on a workaround. He's smarter than you think. Ryan couldn't debug a Hello World script without a Stack Overflow tutorial. I say, ask him what happens when the Helix engine's security module goes offline. Olivia, ask him why our primary client portal just started rejecting encrypted packets. He won't know, because I didn't design the system for men like him. I designed it for professionals. You're enjoying this. She accuses. You're sitting in your little apartment, drinking your coffee, and laughing at me. I'm not laughing. Olivia, I say, my voice dropping to a cold, flat tone. Lauding implies icare. I don't. I cared for 7 years. I cared when I wrote the algorithms that got us our first seed round. I cared when I stayed up for 3 days straight to patch the security flaw before the FTC audit. I cared when I let you take the credit for my work because I thought we were a team. But you taught me this morning that we're not a team. We're a hierarchy, and I'm done being at the bottom of it. I hear her breathing heavily. Then, a voice in the background. Ryan. Muffled. But I catch the gist. Just restart the damn servers. Why isn't it working? Where's Ward? Find him. Olivia covers the phone, but I hear her clearly. Ryan says to tell you that if you don't reverse this kill switch in the next 10 minutes. He's calling the FBI. He's saying this is an act of cyber terrorism. I actually chuckle. A short, sharp sound. Cyber terrorism? Tell Ryan to read the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. I'm not accessing their systems. I'm withdrawing my authorized access. There's a difference. And his frat boy legal degree won't save him from that distinction. Also, tell him to stop trying to hot patch the deployment module. If he restarts the primary node without the license key, he's going to corrupt the entire customer database. 17 petabytes of data. Gone. Just like his career. You wouldn't. Olivia whispers. I already have. I say, the revocation is irreversible. It's a feature, not a bug, designed specifically for this scenario. Your father's idea. Actually, he said, never let a fool burn down your house. Ethan, make sure you have the only key to the gas line. Smart man. I hang up. I don't wait for her response. I know what's happening at Orion HQ right now. Ryan is in the NOC, sweating through his expensive suit, screaming at engineers who are staring at screens full of red error messages. Olivia is realizing that her $80,000 a year assistant can't help her now. No amount of PR spin can fix a missing encryption key. The TV catches my eye. The ticker changes. Breaking news. Orion Systems experiences widespread outages. Cloud services offline. Then, my main phone rings. Victoria Kane. Ethan, she says, her tone brisk and efficient. I'm looking at the Dow Jones. Orion is getting slaughtered. Down 12%. What did you do to their core routing protocols? Nothing. I say. I just turned off the lights. How soon can your legal team draft the acquisition offer for the Helix patents? Already done. She says. I can hear the smile in her voice. We're announcing the exclusive licensing rights and your appointment as Chief Technology Officer at 11 o'clock a.m. The press release is ready. But I have to ask, are you sure you want to burn the bridge this completely? Olivia is your wife. She stopped being my wife when she decided my contribution was worth $800. I say, this isn't burning a bridge. Victoria. It's demolishing a condemned building before it falls on someone's head. Fair enough. She says, the car will be outside your building at 10.30 with a charcoal Tom Ford. You're about to become the most famous man in Silicon Valley. And I want you to look like you own the place. I do own the place. I reply, I'm just moving the furniture. I hang up and look at the terminal. 9:03 a.m. The logs are flooding with access denied errors. I see Ryan's username attempting to access the root directory. 3 failed attempts. Then 4. Then 5. I open a secure chat window. The old team's private channel. Most of them are still online. Lurking. Me. Don't try to fix it. Step away from the terminals. Let management handle their own mess. Marcus. Too late. Ryan just tried to bypass the auth gate. He's locked out of the primary admin panel. Olivia is crying in her office. The board is on speakerphone. Sound like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. Sarah. Marketing. The media is going nuts. CNN is asking for a statement. Should I say no comment? Me. Say exactly that. No comment. Then update your LinkedIn profiles. Novatech is hiring. I close the chat. I don't need to see the rest. I walk to the window. From my apartment, I can see the top of the Orion Tower. About 5 miles away. It looks so impressive from here. Glass and steel. A monument to innovation. But I know better. I know the servers are overheating. I know the cloud instances are failing. I know the genius CEO and her strategic husband are currently trying to explain to Goldman Sachs why their entire tech stack just vanished. My phone buzzes one last time. A text from an unknown number. It's Olivia's personal cell. Ethan, please. I'm begging you. Don't do this. I love you. We can fix this. Just give me the keys. I'll give you anything. Ooh. I stare at the message. Love. She mentions love now. After the $800. After Ryan. After 7 years of erasing me. I type back a single word. Revoked. I hit send. Then I block the number. I walk back to the kitchen, pour the rest of the coffee, and check the time. 09:15 a.m. The world is changing, and I'm the only one in the room who isn't surprised. The silence in my apartment is absolute. No servers humming, no phones ringing, just the quiet, satisfying sound of a kingdom falling, brick by digital brick. And for the first time since I signed that first patent over to her name, I feel like I can finally breathe. The car will be here in an hour. Time to get dressed. Time to go claim what's mine. Let them have their $80,000 assistance and their fancy titles. I'll take the 9 patents and the truth. The truth is always worth more than the lie, even if the lie is worth billions. I finish my coffee. The cup clicks against the saucer. Time to go to work. The Novatech press room smells like ozone and expensive hairspray. Victoria Kane stands beside me at the dais, her hand resting lightly on the podium. She's wearing a gunmetal gray skirt suit that costs more than Olivia's monthly car payment. She leans in, whispering just loud enough for the mic to catch a hint of it. Remember, Ethan, short sentences, no jargon. Let them see the man, not the machine. I nod. I don't need the advice. I've spent 7 years letting Olivia be the face. Today, I'm the one holding the mirror. The room is packed. CNBC, Bloomberg, TechCrunch, The Wall Street Journal. The flashes from the cameras are a strobe light assault. I scan the crowd. Third row. Center. Olivia. She's here. Of course she is. She's trying to blend in with the press corps. But she's wearing a bright red dress that a power color. A distraction tactic. Her eyes are bloodshot. She's gripping a recorder so tight her knuckles are white. Beside her, Ryan Cole is hunched over, trying to hide behind a Forbes reporter. He's wearing the same suit from yesterday. It's already wrinkled. Victoria taps the microphone. The room settles. Good morning. I am Victoria Kane, CEO of Novatech. Earlier today, we announced the acquisition of the Helix engine patent portfolio from Mr. Ethan Ward. Effective immediately, Mr. Ward will serve as Novatech's Chief Technology Officer and Chief Architect. He will oversee the integration of Helix into our global infrastructure and the development of Helix 2.0. A murmur ripples through the crowd. Then the questions start. They always start with the same thing. Mr. Ward, is it true you triggered a shutdown at Orion Systems this morning? A reporter from Reuters, shouting to be heard. I lean forward. Triggered implies an action. I performed a revocation. There's a legal distinction. Orion's license to use my intellectual property terminated at 9:00 a.m. pursuant to Section 4B of our 2017 Master License Agreement. They were notified 8 hours prior. But isn't this corporate sabotage? Orion is down 12%. Clients are losing data. A woman from CNN shouts. I don't blink. Novatech systems are fully operational. Our clients are unaffected. If Orion's systems are failing, it's because they lack the technical expertise to maintain the architecture they've been leasing. You can't drive a Formula One car on regular gasoline and blame the mechanic when the engine seizes. A pause. Then, from the third row, Olivia's voice cuts through the noise. It's high-pitched, strained. Ethan, this is ridiculous. We're married. You can't do this. You're destroying our family. I look directly at her. I don't flinch. Our family ended when you handed me an $800 check and called me a hindrance. Olivia, this isn't about us. This is about the truth. And the truth is, Orion Systems has been operating under false pretenses for 7 years. Ryan suddenly stands up. He's red-faced, pointing a finger at me. This is bullshit. He's a disgruntled ex-employee, a thief. He stole company secrets and took them to a competitor. We're pressing charges. Victoria steps forward slightly, a small, predatory smile on her lips. Mr. Cole, please, sit down. Mr. Ward didn't steal anything. He took his legally owned patents and his expertise. Perhaps you should focus on explaining to your investors why you're currently trying to deploy a patch that our monitoring systems show is actively corrupting Orion's primary customer database. 17 petabytes of financial records. Last I checked. Ryan's mouth opens and closes like a fish. He looks at Olivia, panic in his eyes. Olivia looks away, staring at the floor. Mr. Ward, a reporter from the Journal asks, can you confirm reports that Orion CEO, Ms. Ward, was unaware of the patent ownership structure? I nod. I can confirm that Olivia allowed herself to be presented to the public as the architect of a technology she did not create. I built Helix Engine. I wrote every line of the core algorithms. I secured the patents. Olivia handled the fundraising and the branding. Somewhere along the line, she confused the packaging with the product. You're saying she took credit for your work? The Journal reporter presses. I'm saying she benefited from my silence. I reply, until yesterday. Yesterday, she made it clear my contributions were no longer required. So, I've relocated them. Olivia surges to her feet. Security moves toward her, but she waves them off. She storms toward the front, pushing past the cameraman. You smug son of a bitch. You're doing this because you're jealous. Because Ryan is a real man and you're just a basement-dwelling coder. I finally smile. It's not a warm smile. It's a clinical one. Olivia, please, save the theatrics for the shareholders. You're not angry because I left. You're angry because you realize you can't do my job. Ryan certainly can't. He's been trying to brute force the encryption on our client portal for the last hour. He's failing. Miserably. Ryan jumps up, getting in my face. Shut up. Ward, you don't know what you're talking about. I've got this under control. We're rolling out the new version of Helix. There is no new version. I interrupt. My voice cutting through is like a blade. Not without my authorization. The new version you're trying to deploy is a Frankenstein monster of deprecated libraries and stolen snippets from GitHub. It's going to fail. In fact, based on the timestamps I'm seeing on my terminal, it's failing right now. As if on cue, a dozen phones in the room chirp simultaneously. Push alerts. Ryan's own phone vibrates wildly in his pocket. He pulls it out, looks at the screen, and goes pale. Breaking news. A Bloomberg anchor's voice echoes from a nearby TV. Orion Systems confirms a catastrophic system failure. Trading has been halted pending an investigation. CEO Olivia Ward has stepped down from the company's board pending an internal audit. Olivia gasps. She looks at Ryan. What did you do? She whispers. Ryan doesn't answer. He's staring at his phone, scrolling through what looks like a series of frantic emails. His face drains of color. The SEC is freezing our accounts. They're saying there are discrepancies in the RD budget. Millions are unaccounted for. They're tracing wire transfers to an offshore account in the Caymans. All eyes turn to Ryan. He looks like he's about to vomit. Victoria leans into her mic. To clarify, for the record, Novatech's acquisition of the Helix patents includes a full forensic audit of their previous usage at Orion. We've already shared relevant documentation with the Securities and Exchange Commission regarding irregularities in Orion's financial reporting over the last 18 months. Documentation that suggests a pattern of misappropriation of funds by senior leadership. She doesn't need to say Ryan's name. Everyone in the room knows who she's talking about. Olivia stumbles back, shaking her head. Ryan, is this true? Did you use my signature to move money? Ryan looks cornered. He points a shaking finger at me. He set me up. This is all his fault. He left me with a broken system, and then he framed me. I laugh. It's a cold, hard sound that silences the room. Framed you? Ryan, I don't need to frame a man who's busy hanging himself. You wanted my job. You wanted my patents. You wanted my wife. You got them. Now you get the consequences. I turn back to the cameras. Let me be clear. I did not destroy Orion. I withdrew my labor and my property from a company that no longer valued them. Any subsequent collapse is the result of gross incompetence and financial malfeasance by the current leadership. Novatech is not acquiring Orion. We are acquiring the technology that should have never been leased to them in the first place. I look down at Olivia. She's crying now. Real tears. Not the practiced ones from the TED Talks. Ethan, please. I'll give you anything. The house. The cars. The company. Just don't let them arrest Ryan. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean to embezzle millions. I ask, my voice devoid of sympathy. Or he didn't mean to get caught. You're still protecting him. Olivia, even now, even after he burned down everything you built on my foundation. I step away from the podium. Victoria puts a hand on my arm, a silent signal of support. I look at the sea of faces, then back at the woman who was once my wife. You wanted a visionary. Olivia, you got a con man. You wanted a partner. You got a parasite. And you wanted to erase me. Congratulations. You succeeded. The man you knew is gone. In his place is the man who owns the technology you pretended was yours. I turn to Ryan, who is now being approached by two men in dark suits that SEC investigators. By the look of their badges. Enjoy the future. Ryan, I hear the food in federal prison is significantly cheaper than your tastes. The SEC agents take Ryan by the elbows. He doesn't resist. He just stares at Olivia, his face a mask of terror. Liv, baby, tell them I didn't know. Olivia doesn't respond. She's looking at me, her eyes pleading. I hold her gaze for one long, final second, then I turn my back on her. Victoria guides me off the stage, through a side door, and into a private green room. The noise of the press room fades to a muffled roar. She hands me a glass of water. Well done, she says. The markets are reacting. Novatech is up 9%. Orion is officially toast. I take a sip. The water is cool, clean. It's not about the markets. I say, it's about the record. The record is clear. Victoria says, pulling up a news feed on her tablet. Ethan Ward, the architect. Olivia Ward, the illusion. Ryan Cole, the fall guy. I look at the screen. There's a live shot of Ryan being escorted out of the building, his face buried in his jacket. Olivia is surrounded by reporters, shouting over them, trying to explain, to deny, to salvage a reputation that's already ash. Send the divorce papers to her office. I tell Victoria, and make sure the settlement reflects the fact that she's about to be indicted as an accessory to Ryan's fraud. She might have signed the checks, but he cashed them. Victoria nods, tapping a note into her phone. Consider it done. What's next? I look at my reflection in the darkened glass of the green room window. I look like a man who just woke up from a 7-year coma. And for the first time, I recognize the face looking back at me. Next, I say, setting the water down, we build Helix 2.0. And this time, my name is on the door. I walk out of the green room, past the lingering chaos of the press conference, and toward the elevator. I don't look back. There's nothing left to see. The kingdom fell. The king is dead. Long live the architect. 6 months. That's how long it takes for a lie to die and the truth to dig its grave. I'm in my office at Novatech HQ in Austin, not Palo Alto anymore. The vibe here is less pretentious latte and more get shit done whiskey. The view from a 40th floor is of the Colorado River, not the goddamn bay. I'm looking at a schematic for Prometheus, the successor to Helix. It's cleaner, meaner. It doesn't just process data. It predicts it. My admin Sarah, who followed me from Orion the day after the collapse, buzzes me. Ethan, there's a guest. She doesn't have an appointment. I don't need to ask who. I can feel the shift in the air pressure. The scent of Olivia's number 5 doesn't belong in a building that smells like industrial-grade coffee and success. Send her in. The door opens. Olivia looks like she's been through a paper shredder. She's not in a power suit. She's in a crumpled trench coat, the kind you buy when you've sold your luxury wardrobe to pay legal fees. Her hair is pulled back in a messy knot. No muck-up. The red nail polish is chipped. She looks older, defeated. She doesn't speak at first. She just stands there, looking at me like I'm a ghost. I lean back in my chair, steepling my fingers. I don't offer her a seat. You look like hell. I say, no heat, just an observation. She flinches. She tries to summon the old Olivia, the Ice Queen, but it's a pathetic imitation. I didn't think you'd actually do it. Ethan, ruin me. I didn't ruin you. I correct her. I revoked your access. You ruined yourself. I just provided the log out button. She takes a shaky step forward, her hands twisting the strap of a worn leather purse. Orion is gone. The board voted me out yesterday. They're liquidating the remaining assets for pennies. Ryan, they sentenced him to 8 years this morning. 8 years. Ethan, good behavior. He'll be out in 5. I say, glancing back at my monitor. You should use the time to learn Python. Might help him get a job when he's flipping burgers. Don't, she whispers. Don't joke about this. My life is over. I swivel my chair to face her fully. Your life? Olivia, your life ended the moment you decided $800 was a fair price for 7 years of my existence. My life started the day I walked out of that glass box. You're just catching up to the reality I created 6 months ago. She sinks into the chair opposite my desk without waiting for an invitation. She buries her face in her hands. I loved you. Ethan, I did. I wanted Ryan to have a chance. I wanted to prove I could build something without you. I wanted to be the genius they said I was. You weren't proving you could build without me. I say, my voice flat. You were proving you couldn't build at all. You didn't want a chance for Ryan. You wanted a puppet. Someone you could control because you couldn't control me. You couldn't control the code, so you control the credit. And when the credit ran out, you try to burn the coder. She looks up, tears streaming down her cheeks. Is that what you think? That I wanted to control you? I know it is. I say. I pull up a document on my screen and turn the monitor toward her. It's a deposition transcript from the SEC investigation. Page 14. Your testimony. I relied solely on Mr. Cole's technical assessments regarding the Helix engine stability. You threw him under the bus to save your own neck. Olivia. And it didn't work. Because the bus was driven by the truth. She stares at the screen, her lower lip trembling. I made mistakes. Terrible ones. But we were married. Doesn't that count for anything? I'm your wife. You are my wife. I say, emphasizing the past tense. Until you signed the divorce papers I sent to your bankruptcy lawyer. Which, by the way, you ignored. So, legally, no, you're not my wife. You're a plaintiff in a civil suit Novatech filed against you for fraudulent representation of our intellectual property. She recoils like I've slapped her. You're suing me? Ethan, I have nothing left. The house is in foreclosure. My 401k is gone. I'm living in a studio apartment in Oakland. Good. I say, maybe the lack of a view will help you focus. Maybe you'll finally learn that talent isn't something you can buy for $80,000 a year or discard for $800. It's earned, line by line, patent by patent. She stands up abruptly, knocking the chair over. It clatters against the hardwood floor. You're a monster. Do you know that? A cold, heartless monster. I gave you everything. I made you. And this is how you repay me? By destroying me? I stand up slowly. I walk around the desk. I stop a foot away from her. Close enough to see the desperation in her bloodshot eyes. Close enough for her to feel the heat radiating off me, not anger. Just pure, unbothered indifference. You didn't make me. Olivia, I say quietly. You marketed me. You packaged me. You sold a version of me to the world that didn't exist. The real me? The one who stayed up for 72 hours to fix the encryption flaw? The one who wrote the algorithms that made you a millionaire? You never saw him. You only saw the advisor, the consultant, the hindrance. I lean in, lower my voice. And as for destroying you, I didn't destroy you. I handed you a mirror. You're just upset because, for the first time in your life, you had to look at your own reflection without my shadow blocking the ugly parts. She tries to slap me. Her hand flies up, but I catch her wrist mid-air. Her skin is cold, trembling. I hold it for a beat, then release her. She stumbles back, cradling her wrist. Get out. I say, Ethan, please. Out. I repeat, before I call security. And Olivia, one more thing. Don't come here again. Don't call. Don't email. Don't send carrier pigeons. If I see your name on my caller ID, I'll assume it's a phishing attempt and report it to the FCC. She backs toward the door, her eyes wide with a mixture of hatred and despair. You'll regret this. One day, you'll wake up and regret what you did to us. I regretted it every day for 7 years. I say, now, I'm done regretting. I'm building, and you're not part of the blueprint. She turns and flees. The door swings shut behind her with a soft click. I stand there for a moment, listening to the silence. It's a deep, resonant silence. The silence of a man who has reclaimed his kingdom. Sarah buzzes in again. Ethan? Everything okay? Fine, I say. Hold my calls for the next 10 minutes. I walk back to my desk and sit down. I pull up the Prometheus schematic. I highlight a specific module, the core logic processor. I type in a single line of code. A signature. My signature. Not hidden in the metadata. Not buried in a licensing agreement. Right there in the open. In the comments section. Architect. Ethan Ward. Version 1.0. No permissions required. I hit save. The system compiles instantly. No errors. No warnings. Just clean, elegant functionality. My phone buzzes. A text from Victoria. SEC just finalized the asset seizure. Orion's name is officially dead. Drink tonight? 7 p.m. at the Four Seasons bar? I type back. Make it 6.30. I want to enjoy the sunset. I set the phone down. I look at the framed photo on my desk. It's not a picture of Olivia or Ryan or the Orion team. It's a photo of the first server rack I ever built in my college dorm room. A pile of wires and fans and ambition. It looks primitive compared to Prometheus, but it's the same soul. I pick up the frame, running a thumb over the glass. We did it. I whisper to the kid in the photo. We took it back. I put the frame down. I open my calendar. The next 6 months are booked solid. Product launches. Investor briefings. Keynote speeches. My name is on every invite. Not as a plus one. Not as a husband. As the headliner. The intercom buzzes again. Sarah's voice is crisp. Ethan, the Forbes team is here for the cover shoot. Send them in. I say. 2 photographers and a journalist enter. They're all smiles. Deference dripping from their voices. Mr. Ward, thank you for your time. We're so excited about Prometheus. The industry is calling it the Ward effect. I stand, buttoning my suit jacket. I walk to the center of the room, where the lights are set up. I look into the camera lens. I don't see the glass. I see the future. A future where the architects build, the marketers sell, and the liars fade into the background where they belong. Call it what you want. I say to the journalist. A faint, genuine smile touching my lips for the first time in this chapter. I just call it Tuesday. The flashbulbs pop. The room is bright, blindingly bright, and for the first time in 7 years. I'm not standing in anyone's shadow. I'm the light source. The journalist asks the final question as the shoot wraps. Mr. Ward, any regrets? About Orion? About Olivia? I adjust my cufflinks. Platinum. Simple. No diamonds. Regrets are for people who don't learn. I learned. She didn't. The rest is just math. I walk out of the office, leaving the team to pack up their gear. I head for the elevator. The doors open. I step inside. As they close, I catch my reflection in the polished steel. The man looking back at me isn't the one who took an $800 check. He isn't the one who hid in the server room. He isn't the one who loved a lie. He's the man who built an empire, reclaimed it, and moved on. The elevator descends. The numbers tick down. Ground floor, the lobby, the world. I step out into the Austin sunlight. It's warm, real, mine. I don't look back at the tower. I don't need to. I know what it looks like. I built it. And this time, the name on the deed is mine.